Hi, my name is Candice, and I'm in love with a psychopath. I didn't realize it at first, and now I'm trapped. Let me tell you everything. Please listen to the end and give me your advice. So, Jake and I met at the beginning of the semester. He had just transferred to my school, and we were put at the same desk in geometry class. From the first minute, I really liked Jake. He helped me with geometry, and he also complimented me a few times, as if by the way. I felt that it was mutual. And we went on a date later that evening. The date was perfect. We spent the whole evening talking and joking around. Jake was very attentive, admiring my hobbies, telling me how much he liked my clothes and voice, and that I was so cool. I was over the moon because I thought Jake was the perfect guy. I was so wrong. The next few dates went great too. And we started dating. Soon, we were unofficially the prettiest couple in school. And a lot of girls were jealous of me. One day, Jake and I went to a soccer game. At first, everything was fine. But all of a sudden, my boyfriend stood up abruptly and started yelling at me. I didn't even know what happened right away. I was just dumbfounded by what was going on, and he accused me of admiring the athletes on the field and not paying attention to him at all. And then, you'll know what happened next in a minute. For now, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel. And make sure to click the bell so you'll know when there's a new video on the channel. And then, Jake said that I wasn't worthy of him and that he didn't want a whiny girl like me. He got up and left, and I was left alone on the bandstand. Everyone was looking at me, and a lot of girls were giggling. I felt awful and embarrassed at the same time. I decided to break up with Jake, but the next day, he came up to me at school and kissed me like nothing had happened. Jake gave me candy, invited me to go out to a cafe later in the evening, and was really nice all day. I forgave him and accepted his offer to go out with him. But at dinner, it was like Jake had been switched again. He was silent all night, upset, and at the end he cried. I tried to make him feel better, but he didn't even want to listen to me. Jake was acting strangely, and it was becoming more and more apparent every day. He could be emotionally silent for hours, thinking about something. Then, he could suddenly start yelling at me, getting angry, getting hysterical, accusing me of something I didn't understand what he was talking about. And sometimes, he was back to being the loving Jake I'd first met. Every day with him was torture for me. I didn't know what to expect from him in the next second. I couldn't get used to it. He could humiliate me, call me names, and then suddenly press me passionately against him and declare his love. But at the same time, he was very popular at school, and I didn't want to break up with him. I liked being his girlfriend, but in reality I felt like a scared and intimidated mouse. One day, on our anniversary, Jake and I went to a restaurant, and he threw a plate at the wall in a fit of rage. Then, he started crying and apologizing. To the waiter, to the other customers, to me. Then he yelled at me, saying that I had made him mad. A few minutes later, he hugged me and kissed me on the lips. I began to shake from such sudden changes in his mood. So I took a cab home. I didn't go to school. Not the next day, not the week after that. I blocked Jake's number. I hope he'd forget me. But as soon as I showed up at school, Jake brought a huge bouquet of flowers and dropped to his knees in front of me. Everyone gasped. The guys know how to ask for forgiveness. So as not to humiliate him in front of everyone, I nodded and asked him to stand up. And at recess, I told him it was all over between us. There was no turning back. And after that, Jake turned into a monster. He haunts me. It's been a week now. Sends love notes, leaves notes on the sidewalk outside my window, calls in the middle of the night, and he keeps saying the same thing. Candace, you'll still be mine. I'm terrified because I can't prove he is crazy. Everyone at school thinks he's just totally in love with me. I'm afraid of him. I'm scared for me, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Jake is a real psychopath. I've seen that. I don't know how to get away from him. Maybe you've been in my shoes or know what to do? Please give me some advice. I really need it.
Hi, I'm Mary, and I have something to tell you. The thing is, I have a very strict father. I'm soon to be 15, and I don't have any miniskirts or tight tops in my closet. In the evenings, I can only be out until 8 o'clock. But one day, my parents were visiting friends, and I decided not to follow the rules and invited Larry, my boyfriend, home. At first, we were talking and laughing and doing nothing wrong. Then, all of a sudden, I heard some kind of rustling downstairs. I was frightened. What if it were burglars? We got quiet, but after a minute, I heard my dad's voice. "Mary, I know you're not alone. I heard voices." Larry got scared and hid in the closet, but Dad quickly got him out and drove him home. I received a harsh punishment. No friends and no laptop for a week. You have to think about your behavior and concentrate on your studies, and boys come and go. Dad was very angry, and in the evening he shocked me. I never would have thought my dad would be capable of something like that. Before I continue, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. And make sure you clicked on the bell, and then you'll know when there's a new video coming out on the channel. My dad installed a video camera in my room, and now he can watch me 24/7. You can't do that, Dad. I have my personal boundaries too. But it was no use arguing with him. I felt terrible. The feeling that someone was watching me all the time wouldn't go away, even at night. But that wasn't all. A couple of days later, my teacher emailed me the final grades for my subjects to my parents' personal account. And in the evening, I had another big talk waiting for me. "Mary, your grades are down. They are terrible." "Dad, there's so many subjects. I can't know everything perfectly." Dad drummed his fingers on the table nervously. "Pick your favorite 3. And in 2 weeks, you have to show me the highest grades in them." I really liked math, physics, and biology. "That's a deal. Now go to your room to study." I sat down to my books. I solved so many different tasks in physics and math, but soon I even saw numbers in my dreams. For biology, I took a bunch of books from the school library, and I didn't get out of them. I was sure that my next final test would be brilliant. I got the highest grades in math and physics, but biology let me down. In the evening, my dad praised me for my achievements in the exact sciences, but because I failed in biology, it was not allowed for me to see my boyfriend. But the good part is, my dad took off the video camera and no one's now watching me. At first, I was very happy about it. I jumped on the bed, ate candy bars, and watched horror movies on the computer. But after a couple days, I realized that I got used to this control. And now, without a camera, I cannot bring myself to sit down at the books. My grades slipped down again. Dad was furious. He walked from corner to corner trying to find arguments to motivate me, until I stopped him. "Install the camera again." "What?" In my room, hang it up, please. Dad was surprised, but the next day when I came home from school, the camera was already hanging in its old place. I sat down to study, and I exhaled. Everything would be okay now. A couple of weeks went by like that. I became the best student at school, not only in my favorite subjects, but in everything else. I'm now being held up as an example to other students. I became a celebrity at school. My dad is proud of me. Only, I am very lonely. Because of the camera, no one wants to visit me. Everyone's afraid. I don't know what to do. If I take the camera off, I'll stop studying and I'll argue again with my dad. But to be alone is also unbearable. What should I do? Write in the comments. Maybe you've had something like this in your life. I'm really looking forward to read your stories.